All the great adventures in the world sometimes begin in a tiny room. For Whiskers, it was exactly like that. Whiskers was a 3-month-old tabby kitten with 2 shiny olive-like eyes and a left ear whose tip was slightly curled. Life was very simple for him. He would purr when he was hungry, chase his own tail when he wanted to play, and when he got tired, he would go to the sunniest corner of the living room and curl up on the purple blanket spread out there. That purple blanket was not just an ordinary piece of fabric. Its edges were a bit frayed, and its color had faded slightly in the sun, but for Whiskers, it was the safest fortress in the world. When his owner found him shivering in the street on a rainy autumn day, they had wrapped him in this very purple blanket and brought him home. Kindness, warmth, and the peaceful comfort of that first day of rescue were woven into every single fiber of the blanket. Whenever Whiskers lay on it, he couldn't stop the engine roaring inside him and would sing his song. Purr, purr, purr. In those moments, he felt like the richest, luckiest kitten in the world. Because he had everything. He was safe, he was loved, and he had a warm home. But growing up brought curiosity along with it, and curiosity sometimes led to dangerous comparisons. One day, Whiskers climbed up onto the wide sill of the living room window. He loved watching the outside world, but this time, his eyes caught the big, glittering shop that had just opened right across the street. It was a luxury pet boutique. Behind the glass display of the window, there were things Whiskers had never seen before. Huge cat castles stretching up to the ceiling, covered in plush fabrics. Electronic toys with plush mice spinning automatically inside them. Gourmet foods presented in gold-gilded cans with salmon and shrimp. And right in the middle, a velvet cat throne resembling a palace bed, sparkling with faux diamonds. Whiskers froze. Then, he slowly turned his head and looked at his purple blanket in the corner of the living room. Suddenly, that blanket looked so old, so ordinary, and so worthless in his eyes. Why don't I have multi-level climbing towers? He thought to himself. Why don't I sleep on those diamond thrones? What am I missing? As the days passed, Whiskers' old peace evaporated and vanished. He no longer purred while lying on his purple blanket, and he even responded reluctantly to his owner's loving strokes. His eyes were always on the display window across the street. The warm home he possessed had started to feel insufficient to him. He was chasing after that glamorous world outside, those extravagant things, because he had believed that true happiness was hidden behind that glass. The opportunity came on a late afternoon. When his owner left the door ajar for just a moment, Whiskers couldn't stop his heart from thumping. He dashed out like an arrow, ran through the hallway, and found himself in the middle of the street. His target was clear, that glittering kingdom across the way. He managed to slip through the open door of the shop. No one had noticed him. He ran and climbed to the very top floor of that huge cat castle in the window. This is it, he said to himself. Finally, I am where I deserve to be. But when he reached the top, something strange happened. The plush fabric was very soft, yes, but at the same time it was very artificial. It had no scent on it. No scent of love, no familiarity of a warm touch. It just smelled like factories and detergent. Then he leaped onto that velvet throne. Just as he was about to close his eyes and enjoy the luxury, he noticed the glittering collar put around his neck. It must have fallen off one of the mannequin cats in the display. The faux stones on the collar hurt Whiskers' neck. It felt heavy. It prevented him from moving freely. Moreover, when the huge mechanical toys inside the shop began to spin with a loud noise, Whiskers startled with fear. Those toys didn't look like playmates to him. They looked like monsters lunging at him. Everything around him was very expensive, very bright, but also ice-cold and foreign. No matter how long he stayed there, that feeling of emptiness inside him wouldn't close. On the contrary, as the extravagance around him increased, he felt even lonelier, even smaller. Meanwhile, it grew dark outside. thunder rumbled, and heavy raindrops began to strike the shop windows. The store staff were about to turn off the lights and lock the doors. Whiskers dashed out in a panic. As the rain soaked his fur, the cold wind made his tiny body shiver. At that very moment, in the deepest depths of his heart, he realized that he missed one thing, and only one thing. Not those huge castles. Not those collars with fake diamonds. He just wanted his old, faded, affection-scented purple blanket. Drenched to the bone, Whiskers ran home. When the door opened, his owner lovingly picked him up, dried him, and placed him onto his purple blanket. The moment Whiskers touched the warmth, his shivering stopped. He buried his nose among the fibers. On that cold night, he understood that happiness was not chasing after things we do not yet possess, but realizing the beauties we already have. Those glittering cat towers outside were just cold pieces of wood without love inside. Yet this old purple blanket, woven with tenderness, was his safest fortress. A living being who knows how to be happy with what they have is the richest creature in the world. Whiskers began to sing his most cheerful song. Purr, purr, purr. He took one last look outside the window. He no longer cared what was out there. He closed his eyes in peace, as the richest kitten in the world.